What up, world? You already know what time it is. Your boy Mac Miss the host of the most, don't lead the brags, no boast. All I do is give a toast to the real folks who done paved the way, the real way for us place to play. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to another episode of Woke and Smoke. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna break this shit down real quick, real slick for y'all. How y'all feel about the everything that's going on in Texas? Oh, the governor Ted Cruz just ran to Cancun, Mexico. And left everybody out there to pretty much fend for themselves, you know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is this: why are they making houses so dilapidated down there? You know what I'm saying? Like they don't make them weatherized for the season, you know? Because up here in Canada, we got brick houses, you know what I'm saying? We really like build it up towards the elements can't really harm us like that. And y'all got one little snowfall in Texas, and then it's flooded everywhere. Nah, there's something majorly wrong with that. I'll come down there in the Bible Belt. There's always something going on. You know what I'm saying? This is some shit we gotta take into consideration, man. There's always something going on down there. Why is that? None other than us seeing what's really wrong out here, you know? I'm gonna show y'all this right quick because HARP is still in effect, my people, and they're really going in. So when you talk about the attacks on Texas, think about it. Katrina, when the dams opened up and everything.
What's good, ladies?
They said that eventually it could possibly happen since the ghetto was placed right at the bottom of where the dams would be flooded. So it flooded through all the wards, basically, and messed up the entire state of New Orleans, almost. You know what I'm saying? Where all the black folks were predominantly. So it lets you know that there's something more to this shit than we actually know. You know what I'm saying? There's something more sinister involved. A deeper plan to get us herded, so to speak. So I was looking up and things on HARP, and I realized that HARP do got a big part to play. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause look at Haiti, man. Since when does an island like that get an earthquake? You know what I'm saying? That shit is not the norm. And when you start seeing shit out of the ordinary, you gotta ask questions. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think about it and be like, who stands to gain from all this destruction? And you gotta understand weather manipulation has been happening since the First World War. You know what I'm saying? So how deep is it for real? You just gotta really take a step back and see what it's all about, you know. So I want to show y'all this right quick. MRFG, chosen one, shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? He's keeping some real game about what basically could have happened, which is a heart attack on Texas. Let's go through this right quick and we'll break it down.
Gentlemen, it's RFG. I'm back at it today, and I'm here to explain what's really going on with this cold air front that has hit the United States. All right. Very, very crazy shit going on around us. And I've been paying attention to, what's been going on in Texas for the past few hours now. And I was reading this right here. If you just put in Texas weather on Google, this is what you're going to see, folks. Right here, they have issued a winter storm warning for Houston and Galveston. And it says that dangerous ice storm expected to create life-threatening conditions through tomorrow morning. All right. In Houston and Galveston area. All right. So everybody in that area, if you could possibly move to a different location, or if you have an underground bunker, which most people don't have, you would be a lot safer. Very, very crazy shit going on. So I basically looked at, the pictures of what's going on in Texas. You have the lowest temperatures in Texas history, and in a span of only a few days. And they are also claiming that there are massive power outages in the same areas that were hit with the snowstorms in Texas. All right. Now, I'm just gonna be straight to the point. No time in modern history has there ever been a snowstorm in Texas of this magnitude. All right. No time in modern history has there ever been a snowstorm in Texas of this magnitude. All right. And in the same week, only a few days ago, there was a tornado, like a mini sandstorm tornado in Las Vegas, where I'm at. There was also a tornado in North Carolina a few days ago. All right. So this tells me that one of two things is going on. One of two things is causing this. It's either a pole shift taking place, where
they did say that it was going to be the coldest winter ever. Well, it was one of the coldest winters ever in recent history. They did say that at the starting of the winter. But for it to hit Texas like this, it's something to be looked at. You know what I'm saying? This is not nothing that's ordinary. This ain't an ordinary shift. Pole shifts underway, and you have to know that. There's a lot of shit they're not telling us, So let's keep it moving and improving.
The United States is going to be located either at the bottom of the earth or at the top of the earth, and because of that, it's going to not get as much sunlight as the other pieces of the earth, which would cause North America to be extremely cold. Okay, this is one explanation. All right, that's one explanation, but there's something very strange about this, because if this is true and we are actually experiencing a pole shift, my question is, why is it only Texas that is experiencing this weather, this out of the norm weather? Because the fact remains that if North America was placed at the top of the world or at the bottom of the world, all of North America would be experiencing extremely cold weather. All of North America would be experiencing the same weather of Texas. Why is it that Texas is the only state that is experiencing this kind of weather? And then, you know, why is Texas the only state that has experienced massive power outages? Why is Texas the only state experiencing massive power outages? You know, Texas is not colder than Alaska. Alaska is much colder than Texas. So, and you never hear about Alaska experiencing massive power outages. So that tells me that the power outages in Texas have nothing to do with the temperature. Because once again, like I just stated, Alaska is much colder than Texas, and Alaska never experiences massive power outages. So why in the hell is Texas the only state that is experiencing massive power outages? And they're saying that the temperature in Texas is going to get so fucking low, where they have issued a goddamn a winter storm warning of life-threatening conditions. All right, this definitely tells me that HARP could be involved. HARP could be involved in this. All right. So right here, see, Texas produces more power than any other state in the U.S. and it went dark anyway. And here's why. You see, this is all a fucking agenda. I definitely think this is all a fucking agenda. And we could be looking at HARP. HARP has satellites that can actually shoot energy waves like throughout the atmosphere. All right, these satellites can shoot energy waves throughout the atmosphere, and these energy waves can either be warm or cold. All right, so I think they're shooting massive amounts of cold energy waves onto the land of Texas to create this massive cold air front. And if you don't think the government has this technology, all right, you can just go watch the James Bond movie, James Bond Die Another Day. And that is where they depicted a massive satellite that actually reflected the sun's heat and projected the sun's heat in a directed ray, a directed solar beam, all right, that could hit any target that that the satellite projected. So basically, the satellite took a piece of the sun's solar rays and reflected it back onto any point that it was pointed to. So basically like a giant fucking magnifying glass. All right. That's what this fucking, this satellite conducted itself as. And they also have the opposite. They also have the opposite where they can literally shoot energy waves onto the Earth's surface, and they can manipulate the temperature of those energy waves. All right. We are on Illuminati card weather satellite. Folks, we are on Illuminati card weather satellite. All right. They showed you in the goddamn cards, they have a weather satellite. All right. That is used to manipulate the fucking weather. Guys, you better start waking up, because they're not even hiding it anymore. They're putting it right in front of your faces. So like I said, my question to the people who are going to say it's a pole shift, I do believe, don't get me wrong, I do believe that pole shifts are very possible. And we've had pole shifts in the past. My thing is, if this is really a pole shift, why is Texas the only state in the United States experiencing this type of weather right now. All right, because if it is a pole shift and all of North America is moving towards the top of the earth or the bottom of the earth, that means that all of North America should be experiencing the same fucking weather. All right. So my question to everybody who believes that this is a natural pole shift, why is Texas the only state experiencing this level of weather? All right. And why is Texas the only state experiencing massive power outages when there are locations that are much colder than Texas and they don't experience these massive power outages? You see what I'm saying? This fits into the fucking agenda of the planned EMP strike. There's a planned EMP strike that is coming in the very near future in the US. You see? And that EMP strike is going to cause a nationwide power outage. And they're going to try to blame it on a solar flare. They're also going to try to blame it on another country. But this has been a plan and an agenda of the United States for quite some time now. All right. And like I said in previous videos, in between now and 2024, we are going to experience all of these fucking experiments. All right. And a lot of these government experiments are going to be conducted by HAARP. And what their main agenda and their main goal is to bring the people to their knees. Bring the people to their knees by using the weather satellites. Make the people believe it's natural. Make the people believe that it's natural. Make them believe that it's the Bible and Revelation, when I already debunked Revelation of the Bible and proven it to have been just a plan of the Zionists and the Jesuits. See, they want the sheeple to believe that Revelation is something divine, that it's so-called God's will, but it's nothing but the plan of the Jesuit Freemasonic warlocks. All right. The universe never said that 6 billion people had to die on the earth. The universe never said that 6 billion people had to be exterminated on the earth. All right? That came from the Freemasonic Jesuit warlocks that are running your society right now. All right? Revelation in the so-called good book is not divine, and it is not the universe's plan. All right? Revelation in the good book is a psyop. So HAARP has these fucking weather satellites, all right, just like the ones you see in the James Bond movies and many other so-called sci-fi movies as well. These particular satellites, what they're doing is they're sending charged particles in the atmosphere, and they are sending massive energy waves with cold temperatures, and it's causing cold air fronts to be emitted onto the surface and in the air around Texas. All right. And this is to cause, of course, situations like this. All right. And I believe the power outages was caused by the government. All right. This brings the people of Texas to their knees. Now, I'm going to tell you why they want to bring people of Texas to their knees. It's because Texas has the largest population of legal gun owners in the United States. As a matter of fact, Texas has the largest population of gun owners in the world. Texas has the largest population of legal gun owners in the fucking world. Texas is the only state that can legally detach itself from the United States. Texas, all right, hear me out, is the only state that can legally so-called legally detach itself from the United States, and Texas has the largest population of legal gun owners in the world. The governor and a lot more politicians in Texas, they are defying the COVID-19 lockdown laws. They are defying the COVID-19 lockdown laws. You see, and the government can't have this. The government can't have this. So just like what they did in China back in 2019, remember, no, they did it in China in 2019 and in 2020. Last summer and the summer before that, the Chinese government used their satellites to create the biggest flood, the biggest rainstorm flood in 33 years in China. All right. And that was right after you had all those protests and revolutions and rebellions in China. And those people got silenced. Over 40 million people were displaced from their homes. Over 40 million Chinese people were left fucking homeless after the floods that were created because of HARP being used in China in 2019 and in 2020. That's how they stop the goddamn rebellions now. They use their HARP machines, and they get the sheeple to think it's something divine, and it's happening because of God's will. You see what I'm saying? Meanwhile, it's the goddamn hidden hand the whole time, right? So once again, this is happening in Texas because the government wants to bring.
You see how he said the God's will thing? Some say it was God's will that Haiti got crushed with an earthquake because Haiti was practicing voodoo against Christian values, so to speak. And that's why they pretty much are cursed ever since the Haiti revolution. That's the type of shit that they try to manipulate to the masses, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because it's far from what it is, you know what I'm saying? It's more than that. They've been raping Haiti, they've been going in there doing all types of shit to undermine the people of Haiti. You know, having them international sanctions. They're still in debt. They're still in debt with France, you know. And that's an international crime right there, you know. And now Joe Biden's trying to go there. People in Haiti want a republic. They want a democratic republic, so they're pushing for that. And it's like Biden's trying to, I don't know, undermine people once again, you know. But they don't want no international overseers, you know? They want something so they can see their future, their children thrive, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of variables involved in this whole shit.
People of Texas to their knees. They have the largest population of legal gun owners. And this state, I believe, is the most defiant when it comes to these COVID-19 lockdown laws. All right. So and if you think that there's not an agenda to ban guns, I'm going to have to take your ass back to The Simpsons. I'm just going to have to take your ass back to The Simpsons, because there is an episode of The Simpsons. It is a real episode where gun confiscation was conducted. All right. Gun confiscation and the ban on owning guns was conducted in the United States in the cartoon Simpsons. Go look up the episode. Okay, you can go research the episode for yourself. All right. And the person who issued out the gun ban, I believe, was the daughter Simpson, the same daughter Simpson that ended up being the president. So the same daughter Simpson that ended up being the fucking first female president, she issued out the fucking gun ban, which shows that Miss Kamala, when Miss Kamala gets in there, right, she's gonna bring the people to their knees with the fucking weather satellites, you see? And at that point, most people will be vulnerable to having their guns confiscated. Go research what they did in Hurricane Katrina. Go research what the fuck the government and FEMA was doing in Hurricane Katrina. They were ransacking legal gun owners' homes and taking the fucking guns away. Go do the research. All right? All right, go do the research. All right, this is what time we are living in. It is almost time for the great fucking reset. I think there's an agenda to drop massive missiles on certain locations and lie, and so the government can lie and say that they're asteroids. You know, that's where I think this thing is headed to. So, you know, that's really all I had to say on that topic. I don't think that this is natural. I think that this is being done by the weather satellites owned by HARP. And it's being done to bring the Texans to their knees because they have the highest population of gun owners in the world, and they are defying COVID-19 lockdown regulations, right? And this is an agenda to ban guns in the United States in the future. So in other news, I know all about Beyonce sacrificing her cousin. I know all about Nicki Minaj sacrificing her father. I know all about Vincent Jackson's sacrifice. All right. Vincent Jackson's sacrifice was all about the 38 connection and the 83 connection. All right. And I posted about the ritual with Vincent Jackson and his connection to 83 on my Instagram, on my latest post. So if you haven't already seen that, go check that out. All right.
Yeah, Beyonce's cousin did die recently. So Nicki Minaj. But I ain't into all that conspiracy. When it comes to this harp thing, homeboy dude got a point of some things, you know what I'm saying?
What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's RFG.
So this is
I'm back at it today, and I'm here to just address some comments that were made regarding my last video by the 13th Son and a few other people. You know, we have a lot of individuals who abide by the Hebrew Israelite doctrine, and no matter what kind of evidence or what kind of proof you show them, no matter what kind of documented evidence you show them, they're always going to be emotionally attached to this Bible. But the interesting thing is, I don't believe the Bible is over 1,000 years old. And we can prove that human civilization exists on this earth for hundreds and thousands of years, maybe even millions of years. So we have the evidence that proves humanity has lived for over 300,000 years on this earth. All right. And most of humanity has been suckered into buying into the message and the doctrine of a book that is not even 1,000 years old. Also, a book that was revised 11 times in the same language. A book that was rewritten and revised 11 times in the same language. All right. So you have billions of people on the earth accepting that book as the end all be all. And they have fallen for the revelation psyop because most of that book, not all of it, but most of that book is nothing but a psyop, especially the revelation portion. The revelation portion of the Bible is basically the Zionists and the Jesuits' plan to reduce the world population so they can have better control of the Earth's resources. And they have to get the people to believe that that is divine, that, you know, the people's destruction and their Earth's destruction and their society's destruction and, you know, their population's destruction is something divine and something that has to happen. You know, the destruction of nature has to happen. You see what I'm saying?
Crazy.
So the Jesuits did their job very well because, you know, we have even people who are spiritual gurus and profound scholars that are pushing this narrative of revelation in the Bible being something divine. All right. So somebody who I looked up to at one point, somebody who actually helped me detach from the Matrix from 2012 to 2015. All right. His name is the 13th Son. I'm pretty sure, you know, most of everybody watching this video already knows who he is. But this is something he posted on Twitter, and somebody else reposted it on Instagram. All right. And I saw it. And this is what he said. You devil lovers who always talking about heart, this or that. So heart been making monsoon rains for thousands of years. Get the fuck out of here. All right. So basically, the 13th Son is bashing what I said in my last video and what I said in my latest Instagram post. He's basically saying that he does not believe that HAARP is creating the snowstorms in Texas. All right. Now, you know, I'm not gonna automatically you know, bash the 13th Son. I'm not gonna criticize the 13th Son because, like I said, I have the utmost respect for this individual. And the beautiful thing about enlightenment is we don't have to agree with everything. If we consider somebody a teacher, we all know, every enlightened person knows, we don't have to agree with everything they say. We don't have to agree with everything they say. That's the beautiful thing about enlightenment. All right. So right here, I'm just going to make a simple statement, and I'm going to say why I disagree with the 13th Son. All right. This is why I disagree with the 13th Son. I have video evidence. Of people in Texas right now burning that snow that has fallen. And that snow is not burning. That same snow that the 13th Son is saying is divine from the Most High, that snow is not melting when it's being burned with lighters and burned in fires. So my question to the 13th Son is, are you saying that the Most High creates fake fabricated snow? Are you saying that the Most High creates synthetic snow? That's my question for the 13th Son. All right, because this video puts the official nail in the coffin. Like I said, if the Most High was really at work, why is the Most High using synthetic snow to cover the grounds of Texas, and not only Texas, but New Mexico, Oklahoma, Louisiana? You see what I'm saying? The surrounding states of Texas. Why is the so-called Most High not using real snow but synthetic snow to cause this goddamn climate change in fucking Texas? All right, let's look at it.
What it's supposed to do? It's supposed to melt and drip if it's snow.
Hey man, if it's ice and heat hit it, it's supposed to drip, don't you think? Something's supposed to happen. It's turning black. This shit like plastic, brother.
Wow.
See this shit? Not a drip yet. Not a drop. I mean, not a drop, nigga.
Is that hey, Hebrew Israelites? Is that ice from God?
Black.
Is that ice from God? Ice. I mean, God creates ice that doesn't melt.
It's not melting.
When did the Most High create ice that doesn't melt?
That shit doesn't in your mail. What the fuck they got dropping out the sky, man?
You know what I'm saying? And this was not the only video of people conducting this experiment in Texas, folks. Look, snowball doesn't melt. Fake snow. Look at this. Fake snow in Fort Worth. What the fuck? This was only 10 hours ago, 15 hours ago, 22 hours ago, 1 day ago. Fake snow in Texas. This was 7 years ago. Holy shit. So this has been going on for a long time. All right. So, like I said, my question to the 13th son is, if the Most High is so powerful, if this Most High you're talking about is so powerful, why is it using synthetic snow instead of natural snow? I thought we were dealing with a natural God in that Bible. I thought the God of the Bible was a natural God. All right. So basically, you know, I will always have a certain level of respect in my heart for the 13th son, for the simple fact that he taught me a good amount of the etymology and world history that I do know. But as far as his tie to that Revelation chapter of the Bible, that's where he misses me. That's where the divide starts. You see what I'm saying? When he starts saying that revelation in the Bible is something divine, that's where he misses me. And that's where I actually put Bobby Hemmett and Dr. Delbert Blair above him in enlightenment. You see what I'm saying? Because Bobby Hemmett knew what fucking time it was when it came to shit like this. All right? So basically, Revelation in your good book is nothing but the Zionist Jesuit plan for the mass population reduction on the earth and the destruction of civilization all over the world and the destruction of nature. All right, the natural balance on the earth. You see, and this is backed up by the goddamn government. You see, the government already knows this. This is why you have the Georgia Guidestones saying that they have to maintain humanity under a population of 500 million. That means almost 7 billion. Almost 7 billion people are being planned to be taken out of existence. 7 billion people have to go, according to the so-called elites. All right. So, you know, this is what a lot of the Bible nutcracks and the religious nutcracks have to say. And this is what the Hebrew Israelites have to say when I show the proof that they're creating fake snow and, they have fucking satellites that are fucking controlling the goddamn weather. And by the way, this picture was taken from an amateur telescope. This picture was taken from an amateur telescope. It has nothing to do with NASA. All right. So this is proof positive that there are satellites in orbit of the Earth that are manipulating the goddamn wind currents and manipulating the fucking weather. All right. All right, so when you show Hebrew Israelites and Bible toters this shit, you know what they'll tell you? You giving the white man too much credit. You giving the white man too much power. You giving the white man too much credit. You giving the white man too much power. This is what they tell you. This is what they tell you. But you show them the goddamn undisputed evidence that we are dealing with weather fucking manipulation. All right? Synthetic fucking snow. All right? So, you know, they try to tell you this notion that when you show and prove this information, you are so-called giving the Caucasoid too much credit and too much power. Well, God damn it, we're gonna see exactly how much power this Caucasoid has. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to show you how much power this Caucasoid has. All right. We have to deal with truth. We have to deal with unbiased and unfiltered fucking truth on this channel. Okay. And I'm going to be the first to tell you the Caucasoid has gained a great fucking deal in amount of power on the earth for the past 2,000 years. All right. And I'm about to show you the proof.
A wave of extreme heat that comes from nowhere. It's one of the U.S. military's newest non-lethal weapons, an electromagnetic beam that emits an odorless, invisible, and silent blast of heat.
It felt like opening up an oven door, almost mixed with a sting from about my sternum to my neck. So like you started to really feel it on my neck before I had to kind of instinctually jump out of the way.
This weapon, under development for 15 years, has yet to be used in the field. The technology has attracted safety concerns.
That is you just saw a radiation weapon that shoots microwave waves of radiation to an object. All right, and it can do it from over 1,000 meters away.
So the U.S. military says the rays do not penetrate the skin and pose no health risks.
If an operator is squeezing the trigger and there's a lot going on and he inadvertently keeps squeezing the trigger, there's an automatic shutoff for 3 seconds.
Out of 11,000 exposures on people, only 2 minor injuries have been recorded. The Pentagon has not yet decided whether it will order the active denial system.
Do you know that these weapons have been used during riots, during the George Floyd riots? That hit motherfuckers with a invisible wave of radiation and caused the crowd to be broken up. And they've been experimenting with this technology for the past 8 to 9 years.
Whose powerful beam can reach up to 1,000 meters.
Picture like an invisible searchlight, right? You know what a searchlight looks like? So an invisible searchlight of radio waves going down range. So it's this big when it starts, and at the end, it's the same size.
Eventually, the weapon could be put to a wide array of uses.
You see, they were pretending to be a mob of people. You see what I'm saying? An angry mob of people. But what this is really personifying is so-called black protesters. That's what this is personifying.
Of uses, such as thwarting hostile attacks, dispersing mobs, and reinforcing security. For now, it remains just a prototype.
Bullshit. This has been used in, with the militarized police and their riot control and their crowd control. Disabling and disarming rioters. Right? It's already been proven. So they can hit you with an invisible microwave beam, right? With this device right here. That can hit you from over 1,000 meters away. They're creating fake snow, all right? And they have satellites that can also manipulate air fronts and wind currents. And this was also shown in the Illuminati card game called Weather Satellite. All right, so this is backed by forensic observation with an amateur telescope. The Illuminati cards, all right, scientific experiments and tests from people themselves and the government themselves. This has all been proven. So what the fuck are you Hebrew Israelite nutcracks talking about when you say that I'm giving the white man too much power? What the fuck are you talking about? The truth is, this technology was stolen from ancient artifacts and ancient vehicles that were dug up from ancient sites around the world. All right, go research the Vimana. Go research the Vimana. 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 The Vimana. When the Nazis traveled to North India back in the early 1900s, they discovered a bell-shaped craft under a pyramid structure in India, and that bell-shaped craft performed anti-gravity which is really anti-magnetism technology. All right. All right. And that's how, you know, the government's been reverse engineering the UFO technology and the stealth technology. All right. And all their, you know, the free energy technology, all of that is coming from the Vimana that came from North India in the the early 1900s. Okay, that's how we got from pulling wagons to sending rockets out of the atmosphere. All right, it's called the Vimana. So that's the only reason that and the Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone and the Vimana are the only reasons why the so-called white man is ahead of us technologically. All right. And this is why the so-called Caucasoid has secret military bases where he reverse engineers this technology while trying to claim that he invented it. All right. That's what the fuck is going on. Nobody is giving the Caucasoid too much credit. You Hebrew Israelite clowns and religious nutcracks, you know, you make yourself look more insane as the days go by. All right, right here. This is a heart attack weapon that was created by using an electromagnetic pulse. All right, that was inside of this weapon. And when the electromagnetic pulse hit the human body, it disrupted the magnetic current of the heart. It disrupted the electromagnetic current of the person's heart, or even an animal's heart. This is called the heart attack weapon. It was created, right, by the goddamn CIA in the fucking 60s. So when you see all of those athletes and entertainers getting killed, and the media says, oh, it was a drug overdose, or it was an alcohol problem and a drug overdose. No, the motherfuckers was hit with a goddamn heart attack weapon. All right? All of this information can be verified, by the way. You see, so a Hebrew Israelite looking at this will say, oh, hogwash, you're giving the Caucasoid too much credit. But we got the fucking evidence right here. The evidence is right here. What more do you want? What more do you want? See what I'm saying? So the Hebrew Israelites, you know, and people like the 13th son, they want to say that, oh, this is all the Elohim. This is all the Elohim. And it's the Elohim's doing. And the Elohim, they operate in mystery. You know, Bible toters will tell you God works in mysterious ways. You'll ask the fucking Bible toter, if the God of your Bible is so powerful and all-knowing, why can't he just kill the parasite on the earth and just get it over with? Why is the God of the Bible allowing his people to suffer for thousands and thousands of years? Why, if he's so big and bad and powerful, why can't he just kill Lucifer and the so-called devil? Why? Why? This is what the Bible told our Hebrew Israelite is saying. God works in mysterious ways. They're gonna spookify it. All right, the fucking Hebrew nutcrack is gonna spookify it. See what I'm saying? But I got the nail in the fucking coffin for the Hebrew nutcrack and the and the religious Bible toters. All right. Now, you like to say that God works in mysterious ways, right? So, according to the Bible, we are supposed to be God's children, right? So let's say you and your child are walking in a park, and your child leaves your supervision and is now being harmed by another adult. Are you gonna tell me that you're just gonna wait, sit back, and do nothing and allow your child to get harmed by a fucking stranger? And what if your child, let's say your child breaks free from the stranger and your child comes back to you and asks you, why didn't you help? Why didn't you do anything? You're gonna turn around and tell your child, I work in mysterious ways. That's how fucking insane you goddamn Christians are. That's how fucking insane you fucking Hebrew Israelite nutcracks are. That's how fucking insane what fucking the 13th son said about me the other day. That's how fucking insane it is. That's the same level of fucking insanity. If this God that you're talking about really had humanity's best fucking interest, the parasite would have been vanquished over 6,000 fucking years ago. Okay? The parasite would have been vanquished over 6,000. Oh, wait a second. If this God of the Bible that you're talking about was so divine and really loved humanity, Atlantis would have never failed. Atlantis and Lemuria and Kamari Condom would have never failed. All right? We would have still been gods. You see? But now I'm getting ready to put the super nails in the coffin. This is a quote from Enlil, from the Emerald Tablets. Enlil did not say this in English, but Enlil, all right, was one of the kings of the world, was basically the king of the world during the height of Sumeria, and one of the kings of Nibiru. This is Enlil. Enlil is the god of the Bible, folks. Enlil is Saturn, Kronos, Father Time, Set, Yahweh. This is the same goddamn same so-called God right here. An educated human is a dangerous human. This is the God of your Bible. This is why the God of your Bible didn't want Eve and Adam to bite the fucking apple, to have active pineal glands and active kundalini fire in their bodies. This is why. Coming from Enlil right here, an educated human is a dangerous human. So right here, the God of your Bible says that education is dangerous to humans. Wow. That's all I can say. Wow. That's all I can say. But this is why Mr. Enlil doesn't want humanity to reach a certain level of intelligence and enlightenment. I'm gonna show you why these fucking Bible-toting nutcracks and these Hebrew Israelites. This is why they don't want you to reach a certain level of knowledge. You know why? Because the whole Star Wars movie theology was based on reality. You see, when Atlantis was here, when Lemuria was here, when Kamari Condom was here, we were on a Jedi and Sith type frequency, and as far as our abilities and our knowledge level, we were also living for thousands and thousands of years, and we were also able to conduct certain alchemical rituals after death, which would allow us to see what happened to our loved one after death. We could actually see if they were, reincarnated, or if they moved on to a different dimension. We actually had the alchemical resources to actually see shit like that. You see what I'm saying? To actually track where somebody's soul went. We actually had alchemical rituals and objects that helped us do that at the time of Atlantis and Lemuria and Kamari Kondo. See what I'm saying? We are, the Washitas, the Washitas of North and South America, the so-called black people of North and South America. We were once at a Jedi and Sith-like level on this earth. And I'm going to go ahead and prove it with this video right here. All right. So I'm going to send this video out with a bang. Pay attention, listen very carefully.
In a town of urban Java. He didn't want his real...
This was a man named John Chang, and they called him the Magus of Java. He lived on the Java island of Indonesia, right, back in the 80s. And you're going to see what abilities this man was able to tap into.
Name or address revealed, so we called him DJ for Dynamo Jack. He was only a healer, he said, but he did direct a powerful energy generated from his own body into his patients. Sometimes he used the needles, sometimes just his hands. He called the energy chi, and it was so strong that he usually needed a grounder to hold his patient's feet. For years, we followed him around Java on his healing rounds, pleading to be allowed to film him, but he always refused, saying his powers resulted from a type of meditation with an ancient tradition of secrecy. It was only when my brother Lorne was suffering from a serious eye infection that he finally allowed us to film him in 1987.
It was nothing like any acupuncture I'd ever had. I was getting really powerful electric shocks and couldn't control my movements at all.
Positive and negative. My positive from here and negative from here. And we meet together, can get like electricity.
And this is because you're special, you have a special sort of...
it's meditation every day.
It's meditation.
Meditation every day. Like you can touch me, like this, it's nothing, okay? It's my burn. It's like this.
For our sound recorders, it was also a shocker. He then took our newspaper outside and showed us how chi can also be used to set things on fire. When he heard we'd shown this footage in public,
What does the God of the Bible have to say about that? Does the God of the Bible want humans to have that ability?
he was very upset and refused all our future efforts to contact him again. As the years passed, we sat.
Can Jesus do that? Can Serapis do that? Can Father Time do that? Can Enlil, you see what I'm saying? Can this spook God of your Bible do that?
We resigned ourselves to never seeing him again. My brother Lorne never did, for by 1997 he was already dead when I again found myself with DJ, now treating me for an eye problem. But it wasn't this that brought me back. He had tracked me down out of the blue and invited me to tell me a story. He'd just returned from 2 years on a deep meditational journey, alone in the heart of Borneo. Amongst his revelations, he had seen, he said, how history was moving on into great change, and the old wisdom was vanishing. So he called me back to film just enough of him to remind us that we all have undreamed of powers sleeping within us, and that there's nothing special about him except for his training in waking up. Grounding this patient, my cameraman Joe is having to use all his weight to keep contact. She is pushing him away. He seems able to control the amplitude of this chi, like a dimmer switch, and it causes uncontrollable responses in the patients and their grounders.
I can barely keep my hand on you. Why the electricity so strong?
This mother unwittingly grounds her child. He won't sit still, so she's asked to hold him and grin and bear it. Sometimes signs of this passing energy can be seen in the transmitter too. His chi stuff is only the surface, he says, of the real adventure beneath, in the meditational technique. Projecting chi from the palm of the hand can also be used to resist rifle pellets, he says. First, you learn to distinguish between yin and yang chi in your body. Then, how to pool it in your navel chakra. Then, how to project it, he says. And it's the proportionate mixture between yin and yang which accounts for different effects, like pulling or pushing objects or igniting them. Then he gets really strange. He says that mastering yin chi is the key to the spirit world. There's a long tradition of Indonesian krisis being possessed by spirits. So people bring in their krisis to see if they're dads, Here, he says, he doesn't manipulate matter by projecting mixtures of yin and yang qi. He merely creates a field of yin energy in which, he says, if there's a spirit, it can manifest itself. So I invited a small group of scientists back from the United States with measuring equipment to test if DJ was for real. And if so, where might this energy belong on the electromagnetic spectrum? Catherine Cook, CEO of the Mind Science Foundation in Texas. Dr. Roger Nilsson, a Swedish medic and international racing sailor. Dr. Greg Simpson, a physicist from New York's Albert Einstein University, and Andreas Polak, one of DJ's Australian students. The visitors are confident they'll uncover him as a fraud in no time. Greg is the first guinea pig, and he's uncomfortable about showing that he can feel anything at all. Dr. Roger doesn't know what to expect. Out comes the metal detector, like the things they use in airports, to see if he has any concealed metal in his body. Then the voltmeter, to try and measure the qi. But how to get it to work? Where's the ground? What settings? DJ suggests that as his negative is his perineum, and his positive is his navel chakra, perhaps that's where the electrode should be attached. He doesn't stand on his dignity. He's eager to help, but still no readings. They're getting shocks off his arm, and now they're on the right settings, but the needle still isn't moving. DJ says it isn't electricity, it's qi.
It's 1, 2, oh, I feel it in my whole body. I feel it at 3, 0.3, I feel it in my legs. Shit.
But suspecting there's some tricky setup on his premises they can't find, they insist we all go to a randomly chosen hotel room several miles away to see if he can light a light bulb with his fingers. It doesn't ground on the wall. So Greg pulls and grounds one wire, while DJ pumps qi through the other. The bulbs are LEDs, light-emitting diodes, which ignite in different colors according to the intensity of current.
On, off, on.
Brilliant.
Oh, you're blinking.
Things were going well. DJ was enjoying it too, until he invited us all out to lunch at his local, where he tried to push a chopstick through the table. He couldn't get it through the Formica surface, so he came up through an inch of wood from underneath. Not only did he draw his own blood, but a chopstick splinter had caught Alison here between the eyes, drawing more. The incident was laughed off apologetically, but next morning he was a different man, drawn and upset. He said he'd been visited all night by his long-dead master, raging that he'd broken the strict taboos of his sect, never to show off in public and never to cause harm or draw blood. He felt deeply chastised. All further testing and filming must end. Never again would he submit to public scrutiny, nor accept any new students. He would sink from sight and continue his healing in obscurity, as he had done since before we met him in the early 80s, and had always told us was right.
You see, this individual right here, John Chang, the Magus of Java, if I had to guess, if I had to take an educated guess, I would definitely say that I don't think he's a Bible toter. I don't think John Chang is a Bible toting religious nutcrack. He was able to tap into the dark forces inside of him. He was able to master his yin and yang qi energy, and the qi energy is his orgone energy, all right, that exists inside of him. He was able to block fucking rifle bullets with the palm of his hand, right? He was able to send chi, energy, and electric forces through the bodies of others. And he was also able to start fires, right? Using the goddamn chi energy coming from the palm of his hand, right? That motherfucker was a Jedi. That motherfucker was a Jedi slash Sith. John Chang. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? This is why the God of your Bible doesn't want you to know your true potential, you see, because of people like John Chang. And the crazy truth is, at one time on this earth, you had thousands of John Changs, hundreds of thousands of years ago, when Atlantis, Lemuria, and Kamuri Kingdom was still up and running. All right, and that's why, you know, beasts like this God of the Bible had to cause the flood around the world. See, because they had to destroy beings who had the same capabilities as John Chang. All right, so you know, that's really all I had to say. I just had to address, you know, you Bible toters and you he-fool Israelites out there, man. You guys gotta stop, man. You guys gotta detach, detox, and deprogram, man. Revelation in your Bible is nothing divine. It is only the Zionist Jesuits' plan for world domination. The God, you know, the God of your Bible and something divine is not putting chemtrails in the sky. That's the Zionists and the Jesuits. Something divine is not putting fluoride in the water. That's the Zionists and the Jesuits. Something divine is not chopping the fucking rainforest trees down across the world. That's the Zionists and the Jesuits. You know, the God of the Bible, or, you know, something divine, is not profiting off of world war. That's the Zionists and the Jesuits profiting off of world wars. The something divine is not brainwashing the masses with the media. That's the Zionists and the Jesuits, man. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Revelation is only their guideline of how to control humanity and how to get humanity to believe that their destruction is divine. Plain and simple. It's a mind fuck, man. Guys better wake the fuck up. Detach, detox, deprogram. That's all I had to say on this topic. I appreciate everyone who supports RFG and Atlantean movement. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's the Chosen One. I'm out.
The way I feel about it, I'm like this. The shit is real. We got a lot of work to do. Other than that, ain't no telling what's hidden beneath all these lies they've been telling us along the way, you know? I'm gonna just keep it cool, calm, and collected. Dig deeper, you know what I'm saying? Always go deeper. We ain't get to the depth of the earth yet. Why stop now? It's boy Matt Mizzle. You know my slogan? Keep it real and feel.